Thanks for stopping by again today. There are a lot of people in the Old Testament who saw God at work, and there are a lot of those that we look at over and over again, but I want to look at some of the lesser looked at people. And today, one of those people is Hannah, the mother of Samuel. Now, the books of Samuel begin with the story of Elkanah, who was from Ramah, a man who has two wives, Hannah and Peninnah. Now, Peninnah had children, but Hannah had none. And Peninnah was hardly sympathetic to Hannah about this. I mean, sometimes I think I can hear the digs. Did you see what my little Jacob did today? Or can you see how my little Miriam is walking so tall? And Hannah suffered under this. She wept, and she could not eat. Elkanah tried to comfort her, so let's give the guy credit, but that comfort never came to rest on her. So at one point, during a feast day, she took her pain for a walk to the tabernacle of the Lord. And there she packaged all that anguish and bitterness into this prayer. She said, Lord, if you would just look on your servant's misery and remember me. Remember that phrase. And not forget your servant, but give her a son. Then I will give him to the Lord all the days of his life, and no razor will ever be used on his head. Now I wonder what other words Hannah poured out to the Lord. I think her request gives me a clue. Yahweh, do you remember me? You remembered your people in Egypt, but I think you've forgotten me. Do you see me, Lord? Do you know what I'm going through and what this other woman is putting me through? Yahweh, Sabaoth, if you can see me, please give me a child, and he will be yours. Well, Hannah went home with her family, and the Lord remembered Hannah. That's what the text says. And she became pregnant, and when the baby boy was born, she named him Samuel. God hears. Between the prayer and the baby, there came this moment. There was her prayer, and then there were these words from Eli the priest. May the God of Israel grant you what you have asked for. It's enough to let her be at peace and to have some food. And the Lord remembered Hannah just as he remembered Noah, Abraham, and the Israelites in Egypt. And even though she felt invisible, the Lord remembered her. Jesus reminded us that God does see us. In fact, he has not forgotten us. And while worrying gets us nowhere, God is now here, and he is at work in our lives. He counted the number of hairs on your head, so he knows you very well. Jesus also said that he would be with us to the end of the age. This gives us reason to hope, to pray, to worship, and to be at peace. Hannah shows me that my prayers can be raw, but I can also make my prayers a time of worship and hope. And once I release to the Lord what is on my heart, I can count on him to give me what I need at the right time. I hope you'll be able to do this today or in the days to come when you think you're invisible to God. Rest assured that he has not forgotten you. May the Lord grant you what you have asked of him, and may you be at peace. And when the Lord has answered your prayer, may you be able to say, I was heard by God, and I name this thing that I've waited for, Samuel. God hears.